people who love their phones, especially the men. You know how the men love their phones. So there is no way you're going to convince me that you were sleeping. Men love their phones. Usually they're sleeping very close to them. You know, maybe a friend calls you and is like, man, come to this place, we go out right now. And then you say, there's no way you can convince me you were sleeping actually.
I get.
So that's one of another mechanism. It's spying, sort of, but I don't want to call it spying, you know, because trust and spying cannot be in the same sentence.
The method you're using to confirm that trust is more of a confirmatory test.
Yes. You have to, so sometimes I do that. So we have to communicate to build up the trust, communicate often, and then remember each other on special days.
I think it's just birthdays and all that.
Even
he
if
does in this long distance, how do you remember each other? How?
Technology has done it all for us, so there's no excuse. There's WhatsApp. At least WhatsApp me in the morning, happy birthday. You know, even if WhatsApp is trying to, you know, these days there is this saying that even if you're posted on WhatsApp, if Bay posts you on his WhatsApp status, don't get really overwhelmed, because
they have this thing of blocking every viewer except you, just to please you. Yeah, you cannot trust the posting on WhatsApp.
But at least for that day, you post even if you've blocked everyone. It's okay. Yes, post me and I know that you've celebrated me. Even if you have blocked everyone, because I can't reach out to your phone. Of course, we're long distance. Even if you are close by, I'm not really the type who really wants to snip into my man's phone. I avoid trouble. One time someone told me the best way to avoid trouble is to leave the man's phone out of the way.
True, that is true.
Yeah. So you rather, I don't really.
It's a sure recipe for.
Exactly. So you don't go looking for trouble. Let trouble find you. Yeah. Yes.
Patience.
Yeah. Even you learn to be patient. That's very true. You learn to be very patient with everything in life, you know, and you learn also to take charge of your emotions. Know that my man is not around, so how do I do this? You know, yeah. So all that, but of course, you know, challenges can come in with long distance relationships.
What are some of the challenges?
Yeah, there are very many challenges. For example, sometimes I wonder if, you know, back then with our parents, all women used to sit home and be housewives, and the man provides.
True.
Sometimes I wonder, but can't this man tell me that, honey, you come and sit home? Come and sit home and I take care of you.
Would you buy that?
I would. I wouldn't buy that because sitting home is not about providing, but it's about my social life as well. You know, every day you get up, go to work. I meet you. I meet someone else. You meet different people at your workplace.
Build a social network.
Exactly. But sitting home draws me back to just looking at you, the home provider. And I feel like you are trying to limit my social life. That is something that I cannot buy. So I think with advances in with advances in technology and in the new centuries that we're in right now, literally it has broken down our cultures of those days. Even women of these days cannot accept to sit home and let Bay take entirely of her. No.
Is it that they are no longer submitting?
Yeah, we submit to our men.
How about if a guy tells you to sit and, you know, it's, you know, because of this long distance, I would love you to sit home. I do that breadwinning all by myself. Would you buy that?
Then you put for me a business, maybe.
But a business will again require you to leave home. You know, you monitor and all that.
You know, it all comes back to an agreement with your man. If we can sit down and you tell me that these are the reasons, I have looked at this, I have looked at this, can we merge them now into trying to maybe, let's try to let's try to, you sit home, take care of my babies. I think it all comes back to agreeing with your partner. Actually, you see, right now I am saying that I cannot accept because my social network. But if my partner really sat me down and gave me his genuine reasons and I feel he's genuine, maybe he can break. You know, women, we are submissive. Some things we agree to them. Maybe if he breaks me down and really tells me why and how everything is going to work out, to some extent, maybe I could say, okay, let's see if this can work.
I get. So what is the biggest challenge that you've met in this long distance relationship?
My biggest challenge is actually my children missing that fatherly presence. Yeah, you know, when people come back from work in the evening, and all the children's neighbors are running, daddy, and then mine is staring. I feel bad. Yeah, I feel like.
Do they ever ask you about their dad?
Of course, she knows. She knows dad is not here. She knows I can call daddy on phone, but that's not enough. It's not enough. It's very important that a father is there to bond with his children.
Okay.
Yeah. So, to me, that is the biggest challenge. That is the ultimate challenge that I have.
What are you planning to come up with? So, in order to solve this challenge.
So I think in every long distance relationship there should be a time limit. Imagine you're in a long distance relationship. Are you going to chase for money all your lives until you're 45? No. So what we just discussed and told ourselves, let's do this for up to a certain period of time. When this time elapses,
you realize that the more you make money, the more you want.
Yes.
Or what if he comes up? Currently, you meet after a period of
1 week.
1 week.
Yes.
And then how about if one of you gets a bigger gig? You know, if he's within the country, but if it calls for going overseas, how would you react about that?
Overseas, we shall go together.
What if the opportunity is not in the same profession?
Yeah. So actually about overseas, wow, that is so far. Actually now I've been thinking about going overseas. That is really needs the two of you to sit down and analyze the situation and know what you want. But then still, it also calls for understanding how long is it going to overseas, and then work within that period.
Sometimes it's 2 years, 5 years.
No, if it's 5 years, we come to an agreement. Personally, I wouldn't allow my man to go out for 5 years.
Don't you love this money?
No, I love my man. Yes, I love the money, but I love my man. So I think you can make that money in Uganda. Let's devise ways of how we can see how to go about that.
Okay. Let's take a short break. We'll be back soon.
Bagira olufumu olw'abeesenkulu lwitwe oluli very meaningful, olulina amakulu ag'amaanyi, olukugamba ngu amata gatahatwa lwagatahasireho, atakagatahatahoga tagatahata obwagatahata amata agagaata, kandi amata oba olukumala gaata tosobola okwongera okagayoolamu.
Sima Wakoshal have 4 TV ni nyodona kali nkora program enu ya Street Talk nebaoga buli kya mukaaga kutandika siku nibi paka saha emu na betukwizana bichoka byao niyo tulindo bubibona ne twija na mberoli street talk.
Fort TV, stay entertained.
Adier kogere ha Fort TV butosa ngira programu y'ekyoto enganzi yabona abantu bona bagitaga muno ekyoto kitandika saa 10 kugarukira 12 kichweka ezarwe badyo kandi abose turaliza abose babuli mulingo kwiza kwota neitwe nuko tusobole kwega kumanya kwetegereza engeso emutwalize ya toro neha.
Real and proper Mr. Ben Ganta, and you're locked into Western Connect every Sunday from 2 to 4 p.m. And you're with Fabrice. You don't know you go. Gun talking a bill, no bagalang talking at this straight. Fort
TV, stay entertained.
Hi viewers, this is your girl Princess Agi of the Girls Talk every Saturday 7 to 8:30 p.m. You can as well download the Fort TV mobile app from your Google Play Store, and you can also follow us on all our social media platforms, it be WhatsApp, TikTok or Facebook. Fort TV, stay entertained.
Fort TV, stay entertained.
Welcome back from the short break. Program is Free Talk Women Experience with me, Nina Miss Alpot Apolot, and we are still on our topic. We are talking about long distance relationship experience with women. So usually, Miss Apolot, usually there are always misunderstandings in relationships. Is that true?
Yes.
Yes, and it is normal, right? Yeah. So how do you sometimes deal with the misunderstandings when you're distant?
Wow, that's a good one. So actually, most misunderstandings when we are distant, most relationships, let me say this one. Most relationships, first of all, you talk it out. But imagine you're in a long distance relationship. So as you're trying to talk it out, and then the phone goes off, boom, he hangs up on you because he's not happy about what you're saying. He's furious,
And there's no other way you can.
And there's no way you can physically
need to express your anger.
Exactly. So one of the ways is you give him some time because he's furious at the moment. Then after some time, you try calling again. And if he picks up, well and good. Talk it over. You try. I think the most important thing is try as much as possible to solve whatever misunderstanding you have in the shortest period of time, because the longer it takes.
Remember, this person has hung up.
Yes, he has hung up.
What if he keeps off?
If he keeps off,
so
go there. You board and go there and meet him physically and sort that out.
okay.
Yes, go there. Me, for us, in my experience, that is what I usually do. Go there and sort things out. If he keeps it off consistently for maybe like 2 days, 3 days, you can't keep it longer than that. But go there, approach him and say what this and this and this, align the situation as fast as you
So
can.
how would you deal with that at work? Because you cannot, so most of the times you cannot get an off just to sort your misunderstanding with your lover.
Yes, that is true. So you can buy time as you tend towards the weekend maybe. Or as you buy time, I also want to think that a person who truly loves you wouldn't take a very, very long time without communicating over a misunderstanding. Yes.
True.
Because if you truly love someone, you want to be in good terms with them as fast as possible. So you won't want to elongate that misunderstanding. So even if your partner, you are seeing he's taking the misunderstanding to another level, he's elongating it. Even you go back and ask yourself that, but does he truly want this? Does he truly want me in this relationship? Because I would want to think anyone serious, a misunderstanding is this small, but you're looking at this person you've accepted to be with for the rest of your life. It doesn't have to be you're going to be with this person for the rest of your life. So you cannot limit the rest of your days to just a small misunderstanding, over a small misunderstanding. So I think you'd want to sort it as fast as possible. Then also, as I said, pray. There's a way God fights for you battles out there.
I get.
When you get on your knees and pray for him, you'll be surprised he picks up the phone and calls you. He's like, okay, about this and this and this, and you're sorting the things out. In everything, I think in whatever we do, I think we should place everything to God. There's some battles that we cannot fight physically, we cannot fight verbally, but in the spiritual realm, there's a way God sorts out things for us.
Okay, how do you usually deal with the loneliness? You look at your friends, they have maybe on this outing, on this party, going to church, and everyone is with their loved one, and people sit in church together, people go outings, shopping. How do you deal with that?
Yeah, that's really a big other disadvantage of those things. So how do I deal with loneliness? One, you make it first of all, you learn to accept that he's not there. One way you can deal with it is when you are around and maybe he's not around, you
remember most of the times he's not around.
Yes, most of the time he's not around, so you are probably shopping alone. One, you can always make it up when he comes back. Try to do some things together, like shop, feel a little connection when he's around. But when he's not around, all you can do is you can even do videos as you are shopping, as you go out. Try to make him feel part of the whole thing. And we're here, we are doing
that
this. That
makes you feel like you're connected.
Yes.
This feeling of you watch your friends with their loved ones and all. How do you emotionally deal with that?
If you see, even actually, when you see your loved ones, your friends moving out with their hobbies, I think there is always time for everything.
True.
Not everyone at that particular moment is also with their loved one. So maybe for that moment, those loved ones, that is their moment to be together. So then you wait for your time. You wait for your time when he's around, and you do things that couples do. Because literally you have no choice. You just literally have to see how can we go about with it. Then maybe the loneliness, you can also maybe take pictures, send to each other. It's a way of communication. Feel connected at all times. Yeah, that can also be one other way.
How is it usually when he comes home? The chores, the time?
Actually, it's exciting. It's exciting, of course, you know, hey, daddy's coming home, it's coming. But, so you asked about that?
Like, is there any kind of way that you feel it is okay not to be with him? Or when he comes around, there is this incident of a lady, a family, when a man is home, you know, they made about the chores, the kind of way that you're serving the food. You know, you have to always, there's some more work that is involved. Does it ever bother you when he's around?
Actually, yeah, I can tell you this. For someone who is in a long distance relationship, when he's, you know, like when you're back at campus, like at university, when you're in your single room,
I know.
Sometimes you just say, today let me take porridge and sleep. But when he's around, food has to be
take
cooked.
Snacks. If it is matoke, you have to, you know.
Yeah, the kids, you can say, let's cook for them. As long as the kids have eaten, me and the others will be like, let's take tea, let's eat snacks, let's, you know. But when he's around, somehow it has to be cooked. The food has to be cooked. So of course it's busier. That is the truth. It can get a little busier.
Usually, women that are in long distance relationships, sometimes when a man gets a break from work and then they come home, I've seen some women feel like they're now tired of the man, you know, he's taking long. Do you ever feel like he shouldn't stay for long?
Well,
and you feel like, when is he going back?
I think that feeling stops when you haven't yet fully connected with your man. You know that feeling of, I think that feeling is for back those days. Maybe you were in just a normal this relationship of boyfriend and you're still playing around. But when you have known the importance of your man, importance of family, the importance of family ties, trust me, you can't get tired of that man. You want him.
Remember, you're used to this single life of yours with your children,
exactly.
And you know.
But you see, as a mother, you stop being selfish. You stop thinking about just your wants. How about the wants of the children? The moment you become a mother, you start thinking outside the box. Yes, for you, you might be that's why I'm thinking that selfishness stops back before you have known the full importance of family, the full importance of this man. When you are still just the two of you and you still want to slay, you still want to be out there, you feel like, when is he going?
And you slay
it. But now this time you are thinking, but you're seeing your baby, your kids are excited to have daddy at home. So you wouldn't want him to leave. You know that feeling is good. You feel they are connected with their dad. Even them, they're saying, "Daddy, you're welcome." Like they know the other kids who have been saying it. Hey. So you want it as much as possible.
How do you usually deal with that moment? How do you handle the children when they're saying goodbye to daddy? You know, then they are crying and all that emotional detachment. How do you usually calm them down?
Yeah, there is that, but you know, there is what we call, I think, adaptation. The children know that it comes and goes.
So
the children, yes,
used
they
to
learn
that.
yes, they learn to adapt to that. They learn to know that daddy comes and goes. So they cry. Then, of course, as a child, you tell them next time daddy will come back and he will take us here and he will buy you this. And then eventually she gets over it and
I get.
yeah.
So, Miss Apollo, there are these common incidents that happens in long distance relationships. You know, a lady is living somewhere, and then at work or somewhere else you find that men end up getting second wives or mistresses, but most times people get these other side wives and all that. What do you think is the cause?
As earlier on said, it's basically, I told you, we live in a world of temptations. Yeah. So, however much we try, all we can do is try and reduce on the temptation situation. But trust me, in some circumstances, we might not have full control over it. Yeah. So you can even be thinking, haven't you heard of those men? He sleeps with you at night, he's home every night.
I know.
But you realize he has a child the same age like your child. And you say, So we try, trust me, we try, but things happen. Yes, we try. So as much as we can try, it at some times when it gets out of the way, you realize that actually he has a child outside, probably the same age as yours, or younger than yours. And then you realize that actually it was when you, at least when she's old, the child is older. But younger than yours, you know that it was actually when he got you.
Of course.
Yes, so
that hits harder.
Or the same age, you'd be like, you mean he had this baby mine, and then he went 6 days later to deal. So there is that. Yeah, so of course there is, that can happen. But as all in all, what I can say is we pray, because there is nothing a human being can do fully to control the situation in fully. We cannot control it fully. But
So
it's only God who can protect
if
them.
that were to happen to you, what would you do? If you were to find out that, you know, he has a kid, he's actually living with someone else somewhere, how would you go about that?
Okay. So, oh God. So if I would, if he's living with someone else already, I mean that the answer is right there to your face. If he's living with someone else, I think maybe.
Would you sort kind of fight for your man? Would you?
I would try talking to him about it. We talk, and but
What would you suggest?
I would suggest that, because imagine if he's staying with her and she even already has kids with him as well. I have kids, but she also has kids.
They haven't had kids.
They haven't had kids. Let her go. I will fight for my man. If she has no kids, I'll fight for my man, and let her go. But it becomes very complicated when she also has kids. If she also has kids,
she has kids, you have kids, or you're even pregnant at the moment.
It becomes very complicated. I think there, oh God, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that one yet.
It's too big.
Yeah.
Such a
so
thing.
That, I think I would sit down with him and see the way forward. And see because in the end, you know, as we are growing up, usually before we get married, they always tell us, with marriage we can expect anything, we expect this, marriage is a bit challenging, you know.
I bet.
It's not a bed of roses that you just, you know. So I would sit down with him and we try to sort it out. How best can we come out of this? If he feels he wants to be with the other lady, clearly the answer is right to your face. as long as he keeps taking care of my children, they're paying their school fees. Yes, because that's his responsibility.
Would he do that?
Yes, that's his responsibility.
Usually when a man is involved with another person, they cut off
ties.
Yes, including fees.
No.
Including, yes.
No. There is in Uganda, the children belong to the man in Uganda. So you cannot
but we've seen men
yes,
intentionally
child.
Yes,
I have seen them.
Just that they are occupied with these women and their mistresses and all that.
But I think if it came to the worst, and maybe it comes to the negligent bit, and he refuses he decides to cut all ties with us, then I can take charge of my family.
Okay.
Yeah. It doesn't. These are your children. I mean, you want the best for them.
So on your side as a lady, you're this good-looking mommy and all that. How do you deal with these men that try to,
come
it's
around?
Classic, I know, when he's not around. You also have this kind of temptation. As we talked of temptation, how do you deal with them?
For those ones, it's about being committed. Once you have committed yourself to whoever, despite these other situations that come in once in a while and all that, I think it is I think you can always stand and make a choice. Yeah, as long as you are fully committed to someone, you can always make a choice for yourself. You know what's best for you. Yeah, you should. And then also we should put into account of you are praying for the other to be faithful, and then how about you? So I think we go with what the Bible says. Do unto others what you want to be done unto you. Yes. So if I want, for example, me, I would want my guy to keep faithful to me. Why wouldn't I be faithful to him?
Okay.
Yeah.
You've got this good-looking guy, far better, we always get better-looking people. We meet different, born. I know. Even the handsome are still rotating around.
Exactly.
That person is loaded and all that.
But the beautiful people do not end. They're just like the saying goes, they are not yet born. So you might get that handsome one, but as the saying goes, another saying, the devil is better than the angel you don't know. Yes, he's handsome. Even he's handsome. You see, you've already come. Even your guy, when you got him, you thought he was this and this. Then as you go forward in the relationship, you realize that actually he has this weakness, You're already struggling with that. Then you want to start afresh with this new weakness here. I would rather stay with these other weaknesses that I am trying to get to know and see how to go about with them. Because handsome guys do not end. Another handsome guy is going to come. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to keep So in the end, we just have to learn to settle with what we have, learn to commit to what you have, learn to appreciate and be content with what you have.
Okay. So what piece of that, how would you encourage someone in a long distance out there?
Well, my advice is, above all, let's pray for our marriages.
Most especially for someone who is feeling like their love is fading and all that, for their lover.
For those who are feeling a little, it's breaking, it's going off, I think you should, and you still want this, there is feeling it's breaking off and you no longer want. But if you feel like you still want to keep this relationship, please reach out to your partners, speak to them, communicate to them, find out the underlying problem and try to sort it out. Especially if you're in long distance, you really have to communicate. I think communication is the root cause of all the problems in long distance. Once there is no communication, literally, it is like back then we grew up with very many friends from high school, primary. But as we grow old, we realize our circle tends to reduce.
True.
Yes. So the ones that we don't communicate to, literally, nature sorts them out. So that's the same thing with this relationship. If you cannot communicate to him, if you cannot talk at least on a daily basis, literally, nature is going to sort you out. It's going to take you out, and then he will talk with those ones. As earlier on said, we said men are very visual.
They love exploring a lot. Huh?
They want to see, They will end up going to the nearest visualities of their own. Yeah, so we want to be in their space. That's another thing of long distance relationship. Try as much as possible to be in that man's space, even if you are not there. How do you do that? For example, when you go to his place, clean the place, know his place in and out. Leave there some clothing. Own the place even when you are not there. Let someone who enters know that actually there is someone in his place. Don't you think
you'll pick that up if you've left a dress? Don't you think you'll pick it and hide it somewhere?
Exactly. Don't leave a dress. Leave dresses.
Yes.
That is your other one.
Still sort those dresses and
leave as many as you can. Put them there. He will hide them, but the girl whom he brings, unless she's not inquisitive, a very curious person will notice that there is a
workplace and all that.
Yes, at workplace, go to his workplace, get known by his friends, greet the neighbors. Some of us, when we're in long distance relationship, then when you go to the guy's place, you don't want even to greet the neighbors.
You might greet, but the guy might not introduce you. There is a possibility of that.
Introduce yourself, please.
Not so you introduce yourself as
you greet, and then a curious neighbor will ask, "Hey, who is that one?" If he doesn't,
the guy will be like, "This is my friend." Of course, the workmates do not know you.
This is my friend. In your presence.
They are worker.
In your presence,
they are fellow employee.
In
and
your
then you'll be like, "This is my friend."
In your presence. In your presence or out of your presence?
Would you force him to introduce you as a wife?
By the time a guy says, "This is my friend," in your presence, that is disrespect.
No, he may not say so, but he'll be like, "Meet Miss Apolot," and then he'll say nothing else. "Hi, Ivan, this and this."
Then there is a problem. The moment your man introduces you as "Meet Apollo," and he keeps quiet, there is a big problem.
So just in case he doesn't introduce you to his friends as your wife, what would you do?
Complete the sentence for him. "This is Miss Apollo." You see, you when you sense a full stop, you say his wife,
and then you call it a joke, or he'll be like, she's joking with time. Because someone will not follow that up.
No please. Then a girl cannot. No, you cannot say that it is a joke. His wife, we have 2 children. Please announce yourself. Announce yourself. That is fixing yourself in his space. Yes. Fix yourself in his space. Let him know that you are there like the tick.
Okay.
Introduce yourself. When he goes to work and lives there with the neighbors, approach the neighbors. Talk to them. Yes. Make yourself, make yourself very comfortable around his friends, around his space. Let them know. Those very neighbors you talk to, when you go away for that long distance, when you come back maybe 2 weeks or 1 week,
so
they will be then
creating a relationship with the workmates and the neighbors would help
very much.
Okay.
It's very important. Get their numbers. Even their scary, get the numbers. Yes. So it's very important, yes. And then also, above all, we have to pray. I said that already. Let's pray, communicate, get into his space, and also try as much as possible also to solve misunderstandings. Don't let them go as too much. Don't let misunderstanding drag for days and days. You know, the more you drag a misunderstanding, the more you're letting in you're giving him space for temptations, for the devil to come into your relationship, because the devil usually maneuvers in that time when the person is angry, the person is annoyed, and feels let me get some other babe. You see? Yeah. So let's try not to drag. If you have a problem, sort it as fast as possible. You know, the good thing with someone who is with her man, who is not in a long distance relationship, for them, you get a misunderstanding, but in the end, we know you're coming back home.
I know.
We are seeing each other, so we have to sort it whether you like it or not.
True.
Yes, but now for us with the long distance, it's kind of complicated. So the best way is to not drag it as much as possible.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Madam Apollot.
Thank you too.
Yes. Thank you for watching. For those that are following on your TV channels, Afro Mobile, Langsat. Thank you so much for downloading the Fort TV app. It has been nice being with you, nice being your presenter today. We meet tomorrow.
Thank you.
Fort TV.